Hello, everyone, and welcome to another Thought Leader Talks. Let's just say that as far as Salesforce goes, it was love at first object for Meighan Brodkey, a Thought Leader of the Month. Meighan is a 12x certified Salesforce Tech Arc and a Trailhead Ranger with 494 badges. She's currently a Tech Arc at Accenture. But what makes her a Salesforce rockstar, though, is her robust Ohanian spirit. Meighan is a group leader at the Seattle Women in Tech, the founder of Ohana Slack, a coach with the Mervis Foundation, and a Salesforce presenter at pepuptech.org. She actively contributes to the SF community with podcasts on system.debug and is a Road to CTA Salesforce Saturday leader. Meighan has also traveled the world with Salesforce, having presented at Surfforce Ireland, North Africa Dream in Morocco, Year Dreaming Amsterdam, Banff Dream in Canada, Dreamforce 17, 18, and the Chicago World Tour. Welcome, Meighan. Looking forward to an exciting chat with you.
Thank you. Yeah, looking forward to it as well. Thank you so much for having me here.
Right. So, Meighan, you've been a world traveler with Salesforce. However, with the lockdowns, as with everything else, conferences have moved to the virtual realm. For the first time in its 17-year history, Dreamforce 2020 was held virtually. How has the experience been interacting with Ohana virtually?
I would say there are pros and cons to interacting virtually. One of the disadvantages would be the fact that you don't get to see it in person and, give those, I'm so excited to see you, hugs to your Ohana and your friends when you're at an event. But one of the great advantages is being able to participate in so many more groups and so many more events you may not have had the opportunity to participate in before. When it comes to myself, I've been able to speak at user groups in India, user groups in Africa, the Middle East, Europe, and it has been so much fun over the past year. And they're just things that I wouldn't have had the opportunity to do so much if I would have been traveling and if everybody would have been going and meeting in person.
That's true. It's made the world one big melting pot, virtual melting
pot.
Exactly. Now this tectonic shift to the remote workforce has seen a huge explosion in products for people to collaborate online. And Salesforce has recognized the need and has acquired Slack for a whopping 27 billion. What are some of the ways you could see Salesforce and Slack taking collaboration to the next level?
So I personally am a huge fan of Slack. I run a Slack workspace, Ohana Slack.
Right.
And so when I saw the article the other day that Benioff had announced that it was going to be a Slack first, so excited. Chatter is great, but so much more of what you're doing is in real time and in Slack or in Teams and happening with your coworkers as you're working. Not all of that gets back to your records. Either project, opportunity, lead, account. And there's a way to connect those so that all of those real-time conversations were able to somehow be referenced in some way. I think that would be phenomenal. Yeah.
That's true. And Meighan, another aspect you've been passionate about is sharing your Salesforce knowledge, embodying the Ohanian spirit. So tell us more about your experience with the Mervis Foundation and pepuptech.
Yeah. So with Mervis, I've been a coach now for over 4 years, I believe. And I absolutely love it. Mervis helps veterans and their spouses learn Salesforce and get certified. And you have one-on-one coaching, you have group coaching, there's admin, developer, community cloud, service cloud, sales cloud. It's just a lot of fun. And of course, we all communicate in Slack as we're going through. And then there's also office hours where you can, present on whatever your favorite topics are. With pepuptech, a couple years ago, I ran a session. And then this year, I'm also, this summer, I'm helping out with the current session and I have a class coming up and then available for office hours, which is just a great way to give back. For me, there were people that when we didn't have as much help in training, were able to help me out and get me over some of the hard stuff. The least I can do is pay it back and pay it forward for when I need that help again in the future and all the help that people gave me before. Yeah.
Right. That's the best part of the Salesforce community. It's very active about giving back. There's the, that's great.
Absolutely. And you can meet so many new friends too. So I love it. Yeah.
It makes it fun to give back, right?
Exactly.
And as an inspiring woman in the tech industry, what pointers would you give women in tech struggling with achieving gender parity? And how does the Ohanian community address the issues of gender parity, STEM education, representation of women in tech?
Yeah. When it comes to women in tech, we are there to lift each other up. And that is exactly what we should be doing.
That's true.
Give somebody a hand, answer some questions, and be
You
there
go,
to
girl.
be biased and a shoulder. There's no reason to get defensive. We've got as
Right.
many seats as we need now.
That's
Help
true.
each other,
Right.
have each other's back and just be there.
That's true.
And see that awesomeness that somebody else has that you may not be able to have on your team, or you may not have honed in on yet. Lift them up, let them shine. And if we keep doing that, we can be rock stars all around without having to have separate women in tech groups, which, don't get me wrong, I love my women in tech group,
Right.
but we just got to make sure we're helping each other out. Yeah.
That's true. And how has your Salesforce CPA journey been thus far? Any learnings that you'd like to share with those pursuing the Salesforce CTA certification?
Tons of learnings. Be active. You can't do it on your own.
Okay.
I've got a great network that I've come to rely on thanks to people answering questions online, direct messages, at work, having a group to study with and a program to follow. And it's going to be hard, and it's okay to fail. Don't take failure as a failure unless you're unable to pick yourself back up and learn something from it. That's the only way you're going to fail. Just keep picking yourself up, move forward. Because one thing I learned on the CTA journey is there is 20 bajillion times more stuff out there than I ever thought I didn't know.
Wow.
I knew there was stuff I didn't know, but there's a lot more stuff I didn't know than I thought I didn't know. And that's okay. And that's why we have a team. That's why we have a community. And that's why Salesforce is so much fun. You get to learn every day. Yeah.
That's great. So Salesforce recently reintroduced their data recovery service. However, Salesforce itself advises users to explore the App Exchange for third-party solutions. What are your thoughts on Salesforce backup and recovery? How essential is it, and do native options suffice?
Yeah. So as somebody that has had to restore from CSV files in the past,
Oh my.
it is so difficult. You've got to
True.
have the order right. You've got to have everything put together, and it is such a pain. It is a mess. It is hard. All they give you is a bunch of files and say, all right, have at it. And it's going to take a while to get them. Well, at least it used to. I don't know about, since they've brought it back. But get a backup solution and start your backup. At the very least, you should be doing, your weekly export service. Your very, very least, but get a service. It's going to make your life easier. It's going to make your go lives easier. Everything in your life will become easier when it comes to your org, when you have a backup for day to day. I even wrote a blog post a few years back as one of my first blog posts about how backing up is hard to do, but it's something you got to do. That's true. Because that restore is so painful. And you don't want to have to hire somebody to do a restore when you're already struggling to restore. Yeah.
Yes, at that pressure-filled moment, you wanted to be as easy as possible. That's true.
Absolutely.
So, Meighan, I've got to ask you this. So, as you've traveled the world with Salesforce, what has been your most memorable experience thus far, and what are you looking forward now that things are opening up? Which conference are you looking forward to attend in person?
So, first off, about the conference I'm looking forward to attend. So, in 2020, I had scheduled a wonderful Salesforce event / birthday trip for myself.
Wow.
And I was going to go see some Lord of the Rings sites and meet some penguins. I was going to New Zealand for Kiwi Dreaming. I was so excited. And so I'm very much so looking forward to that, because I keep talking about my penguins. And the New Zealand user groups that I've been able to connect with. It's been so awesome and just so fantastic. I can't wait to meet them IRL. And then when it comes to of course I want to see everything though. Like one of these days I'm going to see the whole world thanks to Salesforce. That's my goal.
True.
But for events I've gone to and some of the most memorable items, man, I had so much fun in Casa after North Africa Dreaming, hanging out with the Salesforce group, the MVPs, the speakers, the Morocco user groups. It was so fun. It was amazing and so hospitable, and the food was the best food. So I can't wait to go back. Yeah.
That's great. Yeah. My daughter is a huge Lord of the Rings fan, so I will check your blog out, as you document your journey
awesome.
to New Zealand. So it was lovely chatting with you, Meighan. And, I hope we connect again, and all the best for your round the world tour with Salesforce.
Thanks so much. Take care, and thanks again for having me.